I've been a fan of Love Live for nearly 10 years now, and I thought I knew everything there was to know about the series. Give me a trivia question about anything Love Live and I've got it. I won 2 game shows about it not that long ago. I'm regularly asked for advice when someone wants to go on a Love Live pilgrimage, and I've seen just about every piece of Love Live media that exists. I was the person who broke the news to the world about Hasuno Sora's existence. I discovered that all these video games canonically exist in the Love Live universe. The inside of my head is basically a giant Love Live merchandise catalog. You get my point. All of this is to say, I know everything there is to possibly know about Love Live. Or at least, I thought I did. Imagine my surprise when I discovered there was a canon character in the Love Live universe which I never knew existed. A character with a name and direct plot relevance who has shown up in 3 separate forms of Love Live media and yet is not even mentioned on the Japanese Wikipedia page. She hasn't found her way to the fan site Idol Story yet, and even searching her in English or Japanese on Twitter yields few results. And no, I'm not talking about Tsuki, or Mai, or Satoko, or Sachi, or Madoka, or even Kururun. Compared to all of these, the character I'm talking about has more time in the story, an important role, a fully fleshed out personality, a home, and direct interaction with the main cast. She's a gyaru, a gremlin, a fighter, and a princess. Fellow Love Livers, I'm here to enlighten you. It is time you were introduced to the best Love Live character you never knew existed, the princess of Kamike Pond and the goddess of Osei Shrine, Hime Poyo. I assure you, this is not a joke. Hime Poyo first appeared in the Genjitsu no Yohane manga. When Yohane is approached for a divination, yes, she actually does magic in the manga, unlike the anime, but we'll get back to that. She sees an ominous presence and a fishy figure in the carp pond. Perplexed that the fish seems to move like a gyaru, whatever that means, she travels to Osei Shrine to figure out what is going on. Upon arrival, she finds that an oversized carp is terrorizing the pond and is quickly attacked. Nearing her demise, she is saved by the pond's guardian. Prophesized to be a fish with the head of a woman, it turns out that the goddess is none other than Hime Poyo, a mermaid equipped with swords for a tail and 3 magical orbs. She is cocky and overconfident, and canonically annoying. Not listening to Yohane's warnings, she believes she's won the battle and proclaims victory before quickly being eaten alive. From inside the fish's belly, she admits she got a bit ahead of herself and asks for Yohane's help. It's thanks to Hime Poyo's words that Yohane gains the courage to fight. She leaps into the fish's nostril and successfully frees the princess. After thanking Yohane, Hime Poyo tries to solve the problem on her own once again, wasting one of her magic orbs in the process. Finally, she listens to Yohane's warning and draws 2 of her swords from her tail. Of course, she immediately loses those as well. But thanks to her unwavering spirit and Yohane's love of Numazu, she decides she will risk her life to save the town. Yohane uses her own magic once more to pry the carp's mouth open, and with her final sword, Hime Poyo delivers the finishing blow. This battle leaves Yohane with newfound confidence, and Hime Poyo returns to her 10-year slumber. That was a brief explanation of the multi-chapter arc in which Hime Poyo exists. And there was a lot of information packed in there. For starters, I learned something from this. The Genjitsu no Yohane manga is actually good. No, really, it's not an unpopular opinion to say that the Yohane anime was complete garbage. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that I don't know a single person who actually finished watching it. The anime has no stakes, no lore, no plot, and no character development, and most importantly, no Hime Poyo. But in just the arc that she exists in the manga, Hime Poyo herself goes through more events and character development than half the cast of Nijigasaki do in their entire anime series. She also helps to drive the main character's arc forward in a way that none of the supporting cast of Aqua ever does. Yohane doesn't learn that she's special and powerful through the magic of friendship or singing. She learns it by actually being encouraged to use her power by someone in need and truly saving the day. I don't think Love Live has ever done a character-focused arc like this before. I won't spoil the rest of the manga any further for you all, but without the growth in this battle, Yohane's arc never would have reached the point it did in the ending. It's actually a pretty good and cute story, and realizing this absolutely pains me knowing how the anime turned out. When we analyze Hime Puyo herself in this arc, it's hard not to see why I instantly fell in love with this character. She is just oozing personality. She has more character traits shown in this arc than half the cast of Nijigasaki do in their entire... Okay, sorry, I'll stop, but seriously, she is genuinely interesting. She's annoying, of course, but she's annoying in the fun way that Mari is. She's arrogant, but she's just as full of love and compassion. She's funny and entertaining, but takes her job seriously. She puts her life on the line to protect her home, and she is smart enough to realize the potential in a young magician with a destiny for greatness. Her being a Gyaru on top of that is just top tier characterization. I mean, hell, whoever expected a canon Love Live character to be a swearing, immortal, Gyaru, mermaid, goddess, princess? She made such an impression on me, she genuinely shot up my character ranking past some girls I've loved for years. Of course, the manga is the main source she hails from, but she has made cameos 2 other times in the series as far as I can tell. The first and more well-known is as a badge for completion of the very easy mode in Yohane the Parhelion, Numazu in the Mirage. She has also made 1 other appearance in Love Live Days, which is the only instance of her fully in color that I've been able to dig up. Yeah, these renders I've been showing aren't real. Sorry to disappoint. I actually drew them myself. Did I trick anyone? It just goes to show how much I instantly began to care about her though. She's actually very well designed and looks great in the Love Live style. I hope we get to see her animated or at least fully rendered one day. I also want to take this opportunity to talk about her home, Kamike Pond, and the nearby Osei Shrine. It's actually a real place in Numazu. It's considered to be one of the 7 wonders of Izu, famous for being a freshwater pond full of carp surrounded completely by the ocean. The shrine itself is called the Guardian of the Sea. I imagine this must be where the idea for Hime Puyo came from, giving the lake itself an actual guardian. If one wanted to visit and pay respects to the Guardian of the Sea when on their Numazu pilgrimage though, you should be prepared for a long journey. Even though it's part of Numazu, it's still very far from Uchiura Bay or central Numazu where Aqua lives. I like to think that Hime Puyo watches over Aqua even in the other universe, protecting them in their idle journey. That's the story of Hime Puyo, the greatest Love Live character you never knew existed. Not only have I come out of this with a new top tier character to love, but it made me realize there's probably a lot of great Love Live content I'm missing out on. Part of this is likely due to accessibility, since a good chunk of content is just never translated at all. That's the reason I haven't kept up with Hasuno Sora as much as I want to, and I've heard wonderful things coming from that story. To be honest, if you couldn't tell, I've been pretty disillusioned with Love Live lately. The Niji anime is terrible, and the Yohane anime is nothing more than a joke. But there are still new things to discover in the series, and Hime Puyo proved it. If we ever get a season 2 of Genjutsu no Yohane, I really hope she makes an appearance along with everything else I liked in the manga. She deserves it. I want to leave you all with a call to action as my personal request. I seriously love this character. Let's give her the love she deserves. I'll be uploading my own fan art on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't want Hime Puyo to be forgotten again. It's up to us to ensure she doesn't return to another 10-year slumber, so send me your Hime Puyo fan art. If we're lucky, maybe we'll finally see her fully animated one day. I hope you enjoyed this ramble. It was exciting for me to discover something new in Love Live again after all this time, and the niche little things in this series I keep finding are what keep me invested. If you want to see more, like and subscribe, and check out my socials in the description. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you all, and I hope to be back here soon.